Hi everyone, I'm LADT Rayunmort, and I'm currently co-coaching Enclave Gaming. So I'm starting this show called UK Masters Pregame Thoughts, which hopefully I'm going to do each week. I'm going to go through each game of the coming week and give my thoughts on how I think it's going to pan out, and I'm also going to give some predictions. Please tell me at the end of the video what you think of the format, and please don't flame me if I'm wrong. Alright, so for the first game, we have Radix against Excel Esports. So, I feel like this game is going to be highly favored with Excel. Excel come off a week where they went 7-0 or 6-0 during the um, ESL Premiership qualifier, and Radix did go 2-2 in the Swiss round. So I think Excel really are favored in this matchup where they consistently beat the top teams, whereas Radix tend to fall during these better games. So both of them are currently sitting at 4 points, but Radix did play against Phoenix last week, and so it wasn't the toughest of the opponents, whereas Excel managed to get a draw of M&M, which are often considered the best team. So I think where Excel are really strong is in the team play. So Excel have Doric as a coach, which I've had a few interactions with him in the past, and I think that he's doing a really good job at making sure Excel work together as a unit. We have like Radix, on the other hand, which don't seem to play as a team in the early stages of the game. They are a very, very good mid game team, though, but they tend to fall off a lot in the early game. And if they do fall too far behind, I don't think Radix should ever come back in the game. I think Excel are really good at taking an advantage and keeping an advantage that Radix are not going to be able to show their mid game power spike. So I'm calling on a 2-0 this week for Excel against Radix. I do think if Radix do happen to come back, it would be because Fury would have a huge game. He showed some really, really good play last week, and yeah, I think he's the only possibility to actually win the game. I think what Excel are gonna play around is probably a team fighting comp because their communication seems to be together. You can see them work as a unit, and I think that if they do go for the team fight, Radix shouldn't ever be able to bring them down. So the second game we have is Phoenix against Enclave Gaming. So Phoenix, these past few weeks are, well, I mean, they're sitting at 0 points currently, and Enclave are at 2 points, so they drew both previous games. I don't think Phoenix should take any games this week either. Enclave is another team which managed to qualify for the ESL Premiership last week, as have two others of the UK Masters, by the way. And I feel like if Enclave play as they usually do, they shouldn't have too much trouble. On the other hand, what are Phoenix's win conditions? It's pretty much having Kerberos carry them. I do feel Nuff is a pretty good mid laner though, but it shouldn't. I was gonna say shouldn't be enough, but it's. I don't think that he's good enough to carry Phoenix as a team. They do seem like a lot of strong individuals. Well, I mean, decent individuals, but that don't really work together as a team. I don't know why that is, but maybe this week they've thoroughly improved. But I do think Enclave should win now that Scudzy is back. And yeah, it should be a 2-0 for Enclave. For the third game this week, the first game on Tuesday, we will have Nerd Rage against Barrage. So Nerd Rage are currently sitting at 4 points, and Barrage at 3 points. Barrage came in off a 2-0 victory last week, which seemed to be a pretty good victory. Uh, it was against Bulldog Esports. But I do think Nerd Rage should win this series 2-0. They qualified for ESL Premiership as well, third team on this list today. And I do think that they have a really strong team with a Nutri as a jungler. He didn't seem to quite click with the Enclave boys, but it seems that on Nerd Rage he's able to do what he wants. And I know for a fact that Prosper is really good at calling for his team. I've heard a lot about it, and I do think that if they continue playing with the level they've been playing recently, although I do feel like they have a lot of problems, like a lot of mistakes that they make, I do think Nerd Rage should not have too much trouble against Barrage. Barrage, although they did win last week, I feel like they're very shaky. They don't have the synergy which they should have by now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about them, but judging from the games that I saw, I don't think they should be a problem to Nerd Rage. Then for the fourth game, last game, we have Eminem against Bulldog Esports. I don't think there's much discussion about this game. Eminem should get a 2-0 on this game. Um, Bulldog, I feel, have a good team, but weak individuals overall, and so I don't think I don't think it should be a problem for Eminem, which are really good individually. They should pretty much win the early game really hard. That they're just gonna roll over Bulldog in the mid game. Although Eminem have changed AD carries apparently, I don't think it should be too hard finding an AD carry which is suitable to replace Toaster. I'm not saying Toaster is bad, but the rest of Eminem is really good that they can pretty much plug in any ADC and still be heads and shoulders above Bulldog Esports. Although I do think Bulldog will win games in the future, I don't see them winning one against Eminem. So just to go over my final thoughts for this week of the UK Masters, I think every game should be a 2-0. We have the four qualifying teams for the ESL Premiership, which are not playing against each other at all. They're all in one game or another. And I do think that the game to watch this week will be Radix against XL Esports, because Radix have shown that they are a really good team. They've taken a game off Enclave Gaming and they won 2-0 last week. I still don't see them beating XL Esports, but I do think they at least will give them a run for their money. For the rest of the games, if one of the qualifying teams does lose a game, it will be an upset, and I don't think any team should be happy if they do. Any of the qualifying teams should be happy if they do lose a game. So I hope this week will show us some surprises. I don't hope for Enclave though, because since I'm co-coaching them, I still want them to win. But yeah, I look forward to the games and then watching another bunch of games on for the ESL qualifier, the second one this week, for which I may or may not make a video. But considering the four better teams have already qualified, the level will be slightly below. Though it will be interesting to see which four other teams will join XL Esports, Enclave Gaming, Nerd Rage Pro, and Eminem Gaming for the ESL Premiership.